Proteins. Proteins are complex structures in the body that carry out most, but not all, of life's functions. They do not carry out all of life's functions, do not make that mistake. They carry out the majority of life's functions. However, there are other things that are also involved in life's functions, such as DNA, RNA, lipids, and etc. Proteins are involved in cellular reproduction, whether it's mitosis or meiosis, as well as digestion, and they're also involved in defense mechanisms. Almost any job you can think of that happens in biology uses proteins, and if the proteins are not used entirely, then they are at least used in part, almost every single time. Proteins, where do we get proteins? What happens is messenger RNA will come to a ribosome, and the ribosome will use the messenger RNA, or mRNA for short, as the template or the blueprint to build the protein from. Proteins, it uses amino acids are used by the ribosome to build the proteins. Amino acids are the actual building blocks for the proteins. This is very important, and I can guarantee you'll be asked it on any test you have. Remember that amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, and when proteins are digested in the stomach, they're broken down into amino acids. So amino acids, proteins, amino acids. You use bricks to build a castle, and you break down the castle into bricks. Simple as that. Some of the types of proteins include structural proteins. Now, structural proteins are exactly as the name implies. They're used to hold the cell together and give it a structure, or they're used to hold something larger together, such as the beak of a bird or the beak of an octopus. All proteins are very, very important. So, there are also proteins out there that act as hormones, such as leptin. Now, not all hormones are proteins. A lot of hormones are either modified amino acids or a small chain of amino acids, but not necessarily a protein. In order to be considered a protein, the amino acids that construct themselves together in a chain have to be a certain size. That's probably a little more than what you actually have to know for high school biology. Enzymes are an important variety of proteins. Now, what enzymes are is they're catalysts, and a catalyst is just something that speeds up a chemical reaction. And don't get this confused. By speed up, we don't just mean that, well, instead of taking 5 hours, it'll only take 1. No. A lot of times, without the enzyme, or without the catalyst that's not an enzyme for that matter, the chemical reaction wouldn't even go slowly. It just wouldn't happen at all. So they don't just speed things up, they make it possible. Antibodies are another important protein. Antibodies are part of our immune system, and they are used in the process of attacking a foreign pathogen. What happens is your body produces antibodies, and if they attach to something, the body knows that that's a foreign thing that's not supposed to be there, and the white blood cells come along and destroy it. The cell membrane also includes many proteins. One example is a gateway protein. It lets things in and out of the cell depending on what the cell needs, or doesn't need for that matter. I also read an interesting study about snake venom that contains proteins, and they're studying the snake venom at Oxford. They're studying a protein in snake venom at Oxford to use it for anti-cancer properties. So while proteins play a large role in life, they also are being used to play a large role in biotechnology. Hopefully from this studies like this one on snake venom, we might be able to find a cure for cancer. Alright, now this is a good basic 101 on proteins. I also encourage you to read your notes from your teacher, pay attention in class, and read any assigned reading from your textbook. And if you are still confused on something, then I recommend talking to your teacher about it. But try to watch this video through a couple times, 2 or 3 times, and read your notes, and then go talk to your teacher. They work very, very hard, and it's not fair to just have your teacher re-explain the lecture to you because you didn't feel like paying attention. If you need to ask a question, but make sure you are doing your part to understand the work also. Alright, this is Greg out.